talk about that severe weather threat and what you need to watch out for from your house across the Front Range for most of the afternoon and into the evening. So the threat for severe weather really picks up today. It's already, we're starting to see some showers develop just out to our west over the Continental Divide. Some of them are making their way down into Douglas County as well. And as they continue to move east, we've got some clearing that's out there, seeing skies and clouds part a bit, and that's allowing for temperatures to warm up, destabilizing our atmosphere, and that's going to help these showers and thunderstorms build and become severe. So basically that line along I-25 out to our east is where we have the green, and that's where we have a marginal risk for severe weather, and the yellow is a slight risk for strong storms that continues from about Lyman, goes all the way up into far northeast Colorado, so Sterling, Holyoke, and Julesburg, out east to Burlington, and also includes Kit Carson. It also includes parts of southwest Nebraska and then northwest Kansas. And in those areas, we could see large hail, damaging wind, but also an isolated tornado. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an isolated tornado out of some isolated thunderstorms that built out over Douglas County, then that headed east out towards Lyman, also Kiowa, Deer Trail, those places. So we're going to be watching those very closely as we get into this afternoon. This is a look at your radar screen right now. I'm going to zoom in and show you some of the areas that I'm watching. They're not that impressive at the moment, but I am seeing some light green showing some showers starting to build around Larkspur, just southwest there of Castle Rock. They extend up into Conifer and Evergreen, and then on up into Allens Park and Estes Park. This cluster that I'm seeing up around Red Feather Lakes, you can also see I've got a little bit of lightning there. That's building a little bit faster than everything else and has been more progressive throughout this morning and now early this afternoon. So I wouldn't be surprised if that pushed some showers and thunderstorms into the Fort Collins and then Greeley areas within the next couple of hours. Further north of there, we've got some isolated shower activity that's been up around Cheyenne and Laramie, and then that line continues on up towards Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. You head out towards Ogallala, Nebraska, just outside of North Platte, and we've got some showers there. And then across southern Colorado, I'm also looking at a thunderstorm that's developed there just to the west of Trinidad and south of Walsenburg. So we're getting going. Give it another hour or two, and these will start to intensify a bit more, and they'll push out onto the plains. I want to put on... Let's see if I can put on our satellite here so we can see exactly where the clearing is. And it looks like we've got some good clearing. You can see where it's not white anymore, just outside of Castle Rock. Still some cloudy skies in and around Denver that extends up northeast. So we need to get a little bit more sunshine there before we start to see thunderstorms really develop and move through the city. But that's what we've got going on for now. So looking ahead at our forecast, this is going to be a really close view here of the Front Range. I'll expand it out to show the rest of the state coming up here in a minute. But by about 1:30, and when you watch this, this is not specifically what's going on, but those green blobs are going to give you a general idea of where we can expect storm development or showers to be at about that time. So 1:30, we're going to see that chance for some rain that's right around the Denver metro area, could extend down into Highlands Ranch. There's those showers you can see around Fort Collins and Loveland that continue there. They're going to push east, possibly moving into New Raymer, Fort Morgan, and then those showers that are down to our south could push out of Castle Rock and into Kiowa by about 4 p.m. We're going to keep the chance for rain around the Front Range all the way through tonight. It's going to take till about 8:39 before they fully move out onto our eastern plains and we start to see things calm down a bit more here for the city. And here's that Colorado view again as we step through time. You can see how some of those showers intensify a bit, staying isolated through about 3 o'clock. They'll become more numerous as we get closer to the evening hours. So 4, 5, we'll start to see more scattered shower activity over our northern and central mountains. And even a line of showers developing out east from Sterling all the way down almost to Lyman. That line will continue as we get to 8. And as we start to see that line develop, we'll get more winds out of that. We'll get brief periods of heavy rain and some hail. It might be on the leading edge of that line or even the tail end that we get a chance for an isolated tornado or two. We're going to have to watch that. I would also not be surprised if some of those isolated thunderstorms earlier this afternoon out over parts of the Palmer Divide down near Castle Rock Kiowa, even out to Lyman, produced an isolated tornado from that as well. But that's going to be early in the afternoon. Showers will continue, and then we'll be out onto the eastern plains by 11. And then after that, we'll start to get some clearing. We'll only make our way into the upper 60s today. A lot of that has to do with the cloudy start. This front that's pushing through, as we start to see clearing, it'll be brief. Storms will build, clouds move back in, and then we're going to stay cloudy for the remainder of the night. It's going to take a while to clear those clouds out. Tomorrow we could get an isolated storm or two, but no threat for severe weather tomorrow afternoon. Saturday highs will be in the low 70s, dry on Sunday, and we'll start to warm up. But Monday and Tuesday, the hot days of next week, where we get up close to 90. So big change in our weather. We just have to get through today, and I need you to stay vigilant on that threat for large hail, damaging wind, brief periods of heavy rain, and even an isolated tornado or two. Biggest threat for severe weather will be across far northeast Colorado, but again, Denver in the Front Range under that marginal risk for strong storms. We certainly have the humidity in place to get these going, and we're going to continue to watch to see how they develop throughout the day. There's the radar screen again right now, and that is our forecast. I'm going to go ahead and put this in motion. I'm going to hop on our Facebook page and see if you all have any kind of questions that I can answer for you. All right. So give me just a minute, and I'm going to start scrolling through some of these questions here. Okay. So we've got a couple of folks that are asking some specific questions about where those storms will be. Oh man, Cheryl watching us from Western Montana. Hey, let's go ahead and I'll go over the forecast again for folks who might be joining us a little bit late. So today we are looking at a threat for severe weather. We'll go back to our risk page here. Hold on just a second. I'm also going to refresh this page here. I've got my internet also sitting right here in front of me, and something else that I like to watch. Oh, that's interesting. Something else that I like to watch is some of the discussions that's issued by the Storm Prediction Center. The product that you're looking at right now, these risks for thunderstorms, that's issued by the Storm Prediction Center. They're out of Norman, Oklahoma. They're frequently in contact with the local National Weather Service offices, and they issue the risks for the day. So right now they have far northeast Colorado under a slight risk, and then Denver just outside of Fort Collins, but Greeley, and folks who are just right along that I-25 line into the east under a marginal risk for strong storms. Now that same organization will also issue something called a mesoscale discussion. So they'll take a region and then they'll say, hey, we're looking at the storm starting to pop here. Maybe we need to issue a watch, or maybe we don't. And then they'll issue some sort of document or a discussion that says what they're thinking as far as those watches go. And I don't see any mesoscale discussions out here for the metro area or for Colorado. Most of those now out for parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And then it looks like a couple of other parts of the country. So we're still, that doesn't mean we're not looking at a threat for severe weather. They are starting to go, but likely it would happen within the next hour or so. Biggest threats today are going to be for large hail and damaging wind, but we do also have a small chance for an isolated tornado. That's going to come out of some of the storms that potentially develop early. For example, down close to the Palmer Divide, so southeast of the metro area, and then out east onto the plains. And then as the showers and thunderstorms become more linear, so we see a line develop and they kind of connect, we might see an isolated tornado out of that line. It's something that we're going to be watching for today. This is what the radar screen looks like right now. It's not that impressive. We certainly don't have any warnings. Most of the showers and thunderstorms that are producing most of the lightning way down south across southern Colorado, just to the west there of Trinidad. And then I'm watching this guy right here over Perry Park, southwest of Castle Rock. That shower's been trying to form over the last half an hour. So as it starts to gain a bit more energy, it may be progressing east. Let's loop it through and see what it does. So right now, fairly stationary, doesn't have enough energy or enough strength to really push there off the Palmer Divide and move east. But once that happens, and we are seeing clearing ahead of that, we may see that storm become a bit stronger. And we've got some light shower activity that is right now just to the west of us, across our foothills, up over the Continental Divide, even perhaps a little bit of snow at the highest elevations. This cluster of showers moving through Red Feather Lakes has also been producing some lightning from time to time. But pretty quiet right now for most locations along and east of I-25. For our friends who are out across Nebraska, we do have one thunderstorm that's been pretty active just now outside of Scotts Bluff. And then throughout southwest Nebraska, around Imperial, heading up to Ogallala, you've had some showers move through you. Those were some of the showers we had across northern Colorado a little bit earlier today. Let's step through time so I can show you front range. This is just going to give you a general idea of where we have a chance for showers and storms. I saw somebody asking about Boulder. You have a chance to see a thunderstorm or two today. We're going to see that over Fort Collins in the metro area by 1:30 p.m. At that point, most of the storms will be isolated, and then by 4, they'll become a bit more scattered, not only here for the front range, but also on our eastern plains. They'll continue, and the chance continues well until this evening, 8, 9 o'clock, before we see most of the shower and thunderstorm activity move out into our far eastern plains. So those locations like Holyoke, Julesburg, Burlington will see the thunderstorm activity last well into tonight, whereas the Denver metro area, for folks up near Fort Collins and Greeley, it'll end a bit earlier. Here's a statewide view. You can see we've got scattered showers possible at 3 o'clock in our northern mountains, along the I-25 corridor, extending a bit out onto our eastern plains, but by 5, they become much more scattered further to our east, near Sterling, along I-76, extending down to I-70 to about Lyman. And then that line becomes much more defined at about 8 o'clock at night, and will continue out on our eastern plains, possibly producing some heavy rain, hail, and wind by 11 o'clock. So Yuma, Ray, Burlington, Kit Carson, even Lamar, you could see some of that shower activity. It's not going to be a really warm day today. Highs only in the upper 60s, and then tonight we'll drop into the upper 40s. The weekend does not look nearly as stormy. We're going to be back into the low 70s Saturday with a chance for an isolated thunderstorm. Sunday dry, 80, and then we're hot for Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like we've got another risk for some isolated thunderstorms out here across the front range. So I'm going to take us back here to the radar screen, and we are going to see if we have any more questions that I can go over. Pam Frank, hi. Hello, she says hello from Pam and Frank. Say hello from Greeley. Hi there. Becky and Berthoud, yes, you also have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms today. It's going to be along the same timing as what we've got for everyone here across the front range, from about now all the way through the afternoon and then into the evening. Hayden asks, where will that tornado be and what city? Man, I wish weather science was that advanced. We'll have a chance for an isolated tornado, but it will be very small, and most likely it'll be outside of the Denver metro area. I think the closest will be southeast of the city, and then we'll have chances for those isolated tornadoes a little bit further out onto our plains. Our biggest threats are going to be for large hail and damaging wind. That's going to be the thing that you really need to watch out for here across the Front Range. And just to review for folks, I know sometimes it's fun to get out. I mean, I like to do it. I like to storm chase. Get out and take pictures, but you need to make sure that you are in a safe location if you're going to do that. If you have a severe thunderstorm warning over your area, you need to be inside your home. You need to be well away from those windows to protect yourself. When we have those severe thunderstorm warnings issued, hail has gotten large enough that it could do damage to yourself, your health, and your property. And that's why we need you to be inside if a severe thunderstorm is over your area. So we only want your pictures and your videos if you can be safe about it. Okay, no watches. Again, no watches issued just yet. I'm keeping my eye on any sort of mesoscale discussions. And I still haven't seen anything issued here by the National Weather Service. I'm going to go in and check one more thing here. Okay. Or from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay. Let's see. Dustin's asking for no hail for Greeley today. I mean, I hope you don't. But there is a chance for it. So just keep your eye out. Hi, Lara. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. She says hello from Longmont. Will we get hail? Yes, you do have a chance for it today. Most everyone along the Front Range, from Fort Collins all the way down to Denver, including in our foothills, will have a chance to see hail today. Some of it could be severe. Some of it may be small. Maybe you just have a general thunderstorm that rolls through your area. But we just need your eyes out and you guys to be paying attention to what's going on around you, because there is a threat for some very strong storms out there today. Okay. Yeah, so Lakewood, Westminster, Lochbuie, Broomfield, I-25 in Evans. Hey, friends, we all have that chance for severe weather today, right? I know that here, I'll go back to this. The slight risk does not impact the Denver metro area, but the marginal risk does. And I know it also goes along I-25, so it doesn't go out into our foothills. I think the thinking there is a lot of these storms are going to start just off to our west. Will be building as they move through our western suburbs. And then by the time they reach that severe status, they should be east of I-25. That doesn't mean that we won't get any severe weather west of there. I still think west of there, there's going to be a small chance that we could see some strong to severe storms. So you just need to watch out for it. The bigger risk is going to be just east of I-25 and, of course, out east on our far eastern plains. Okay, so a lot of folks just tuning in. The graphic that you are looking at right now is going to be our risk for severe weather. So the green is marginal, the yellow is slight. All those areas will see the biggest risk for large hail and damaging wind, but we do have a chance for some isolated tornadoes out there today. I'm going to go ahead and say that all locations here across the Front Range, mostly surrounding I-25. So got to get off those foothills, get through Fort Collins, the western suburbs here of Denver. I think Boulder, you're going to be a little bit outside of there. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw some small hail, but I think that the severe weather threat's going to be much greater the further east you go of Boulder. We're going to see this chance for severe thunderstorms today. Isolated tornadoes will be possible. I think the best threat for that is going to be east of the Denver metro area, southeast, possibly close to the Palmer Divide, so Douglas County, and even a little bit further east of there, and then out onto the plains. So I know a lot of folks are asking specific questions about all those cities that are surrounding Denver, on up I-25 to Fort Collins. Just keep your eye out for those strong storms today. Can't pinpoint exactly where they are going to be for you. I can tell you that we're starting to see some of those storms form just off to our west, and showers form. So this tells me that we certainly have a very continued and good chance for some strong storms today. As I put the satellite on there, I'm looking for clearing, and I've got that just outside there of Castle Rock and a little bit of clearing up to our north. So the more sunshine that you get over an area, the more your risk for severe weather will go up. That's what I'm watching for there. Okay. So Stacy's asking about Centennial. All of that goes for you as well. We're going to see that chance for some thunderstorms that produce large hail, damaging wind out over Centennial. I think you got to get a little bit further east and southeast of Centennial to get the threat for an isolated tornado. And again, that chance, even for folks who have a bigger risk for that, is still very, very small. Corey Reppenhagen's actually out chasing all of that today. I think he was looking at chasing those storms out to the east and southeast. So we'll see where he goes and what he finds. Okay. Okay, a lot of folks now asking for the timing. Today, oh, and somebody just asked like yesterday. So today the risk is bigger than yesterday. I think our storms will be more scattered than what we saw yesterday. A few more folks out there are going to be seeing showers and thunderstorms, again, some of which could be severe. The storms today expect to be a bit stronger. So if you're comparing today to yesterday, that's what's going on. Tina said she had pea-sized hail yesterday, and today there's a bigger threat for hail to be an inch in diameter. And once we get up to an inch, that's when those storms become severe. And that inch in diameter hail does the damage to your property and to yourself. That's why we ask folks to get inside. Okay, so I know a lot of people were asking about the forecast and where storms are going to be over specific times. So I'm going to draw that up really quickly. I can only go for a certain amount of time today because I know that Governor Polis is going to be they're going to be streaming that to and answering questions. So we're going to cover this for a little while longer, and then if we need to hop back on, we can do that too. So this is a look at our forecast. A 1:30 in the afternoon. Again, this is just an estimate. The green blobs. It's just what this particular model is suggesting could happen along the Front Range. Take this as a good estimate. So in areas like Fort Collins, we could see some showers and thunderstorms. We could see some down around Aurora, Highlands Ranch, Centennial, close to Castle Rock at that time. Notice they're not as widespread at that point. And then those storms move out east, close to Agate and Fort Morgan and New Raymer by 4 p.m., and we see even more develop just behind it. So scattered storms possible there across the Front Range and out into our eastern plains by 4. They'll continue to become more scattered as we get into the evening hours, with another line developing by 6:30, possibly around the Denver area, maybe extending up to Greeley and Keensburg. The other thing that we're going to be watching for today is as those storms develop and become strong, they're going to be producing winds. We talked about how strong winds, damaging winds are going to be possible out of those storms. Well, they also produce something called outflow. So a lot of air coming out behind the storm. And as that air rushes out behind a storm, sometimes it can create a boundary that just travels across the land. Well, as you get to outflow boundaries from maybe different storms that meet, that could produce some more storms behind it. So that's why I think we may be seeing even some more shower and thunderstorm activity behind that first line that takes us well into the evening here for Denver, Fort Collins, and Greeley. We get to about 8:30 at night, and then things start to calm down here for folks close to the I-25 corridor, but they stay very active for our friends out on the eastern plains. So let's go ahead and take a look there at the whole state, because I know we've got a lot of folks that watch from not just the Front Range, but all over Colorado. And at 12:30, again, we've got some scattered showers in our northern mountains. See how they continue till 3 and really just become more scattered. We have more storms that are out there by 5, covering our northern and central mountains and extending out into our eastern plains, still over that I-25 corridor. You get to 7 o'clock and we still have scattered thunderstorm activity close to the Denver metro area. A chance for it now at that point up near Julesburg, Holyoke, Sterling. Then we get past 8:30 and that line becomes a bit more defined out on our eastern plains, producing wind, heavy rain, some hail, but continues well into the night. That's 10:30, 11, and I would even say close to midnight before folks out in Yuma, Ray, and Burlington are really done with this. It's going to be a noisy night for you while we quiet down quite a bit earlier here across the Front Range and along I-25, Denver, Fort Collins, and Greeley. Things start to quiet down a bit more for us closer to 8:30. We'll stay cloudy through most of the night, and then we'll see things calm down for the weekend. Still a chance for an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow. On Sunday, we'll be dry, and we'll be warming back up again. Danielle, I'm sorry. Let's see here. So Christopher Brown is asking about any large